If you have ever felt full but you still had the urge to keep eating anyway, I want you to know that you are not broken. There's a neurological cycle in your brain that is causing all of that pain. And I'm going to explain to you what it is and how to fix it. I'm someone who has struggled with food addictions in the past before, so I know how painful it is to not have the willpower and the strength to stop eating when you're full. But I also know that this idea that I'm going to teach you, it absolutely works. And so the reason why you can't stop eating when you're full is because of something called brain patterns. Now, I'm not going to give you any scientific jargon because, quite honestly, you don't want that. If you cared about that, you'll be reading a textbook. Instead, I'm going to explain to you that I have a simple idea using a rock and a spoon. So let's get it. But first, you need to know the complexities of the brain. Right? The brain is such a complicated thing. So there's something called brain behavioral patterns, and this is exactly how it works. So let's say I wake up every day, and then I take this roll on, and then I apply it here. The first time I do it, my brain will be like, oh, okay. So each time we wake up, we put roll on. Okay, that just created a small and weak behavioral pattern of putting roll on. And then imagine over the next 3 months, wait, I have to close the door. I'm back, portrait on. Now imagine over the next 3 months, I wake up every day and the first thing I do, I put on roll on. So I've just created a behavioral pattern of putting roll on each day that I wake up. And over time, that pattern gets strong. And now my brain just knows that when you wake up, you put roll on. And if I don't put roll on, my brain is going to freak out. Right? And it's going to like force me to put roll on. It's the same thing with binge eating. Every time you binge, you are creating a behavioral pattern of binge eating. And the more you binge, the stronger that pattern gets, and the harder it gets to actually stop binge eating. Now, this can be very traumatizing for some of you. If you have been struggling with binge eating for about 10 years, 15 years, heck, even 20 years, like some people have like told me that they've struggled with binge eating for about 20 years. That sucks. That means for 20 years, you have been creating and strengthening a behavioral pattern of binge eating. And so, of course, it's going to be harder. It's going to be hard for you to break that pattern, even though you know that binge eating is very toxic for you. Now, fortunately, my friends, all hope is not lost. There is still hope. And let me tell you what that hope is. Again, I'm now going to use Mr. Rock here. So this is the solution to breaking this pattern of binge eating and to breaking free. So I've got a rock right here. Now, someone is going to say, Blessing, that's not a rock, it's a brick. It's a rock to me, whatever. It's a rock. This is a rock right here. Yes, the portrait is too much. So I'm going to go out of focus. Focus on the rock, come on. Right here, right? This is a rock. This is a spoon that I have picked up outside. Now I'm going to do this. You see, I've just hit that rock really hard. Now, you might not see it, but I've just weakened the rock. And if over the next 10 days I kept hitting it very, very, very hard, eventually the rock is going to break, even though I'm using like a weak thing. So each and every strike that I make on the rock is going to weaken the rock. And eventually the rock is going to be weak, it's going to break. It's the same thing, my friend, with your binge eating behavior pattern. Each and every time you hit them, you make them weak, and eventually they're going to break. And so the question becomes, how do you hit your patterns? Like, how do you boom, 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 break them? Because they are not rocks, right? Well, my friends, let me give you the cure. It's something, you see, your brain has a pattern that every time we eat, we binge, right? And each and every time you act against that pattern, you are hitting the pattern and you are making it weak. And so over time, the pattern becomes weak and it breaks. So what this means is every time you make an effort to stop binge eating, or every time you act like different from what your brain expects, you are breaking the patterns. Every time you are in a shop and you get the urge to buy eatables or chocolates, but instead you buy a banana, you are breaking the patterns. Every time you make an effort to chew 30 times, like I always tell you to do, you are breaking the patterns. And eventually the patterns become weak, and eventually you just, like, they become weak, then they lose their hold, they lose their power on you, and you stop binge eating. That is simply how it works. Now, over time, you are going to mess up. You are going to do actions that strengthen those patterns. I mess up sometimes. Everyone does. But over the long term, you just want to make sure that, like, over the long term, at least 51% of your actions are breaking the patterns over the long term. And eventually the patterns break, and eventually you stop binge eating. And this is the cure, this is the solution, my friends. You are going to make it. I believe in you. Now, of course, you can book a free call with me, and I will help you break the patterns together. You can book a free call, literally free, link in the description, and I'm going to see you, my friends, on the call.